I know shit pisses you off, and there's definitely a lot of shit that pisses me off. We're going to bring that back. We're going to be focusing on football. We will update you on the Cubs a little bit here and there as that season progresses towards the World Series. But I just focused on the Chicago Bears draft choices on the offensive side. Maybe that's why you guys all tune out after 1.8 seconds. Or is it 1 minute and 8 seconds? I don't know. This whole podcasting thing's new to me. I'm going to keep doing it. I don't care. Someone's going to have to start to watch. Maybe I got to eliminate the dance moves at the beginning and the applause. But like I've said before, if I don't clap for myself, nobody will. Welcome to season 3, episode number 13 of the Shawn Mackey Show. We were going to transition into football, and we are. I've got NFL action coming up for you here in a few moments. Cubs brought up James Triantos. Did not play yesterday. Cubs squeaked out a victory 3-2, I believe, against the Pirates. What's the move here? We've seen this play out before. Cubs recently brought back Drew Pomerantz, gave him a couple of outings. Wasn't what they thought. DFA'd him. It's a carousel of pitchers. Brought back Aaron Savali. We talked about him on the last episode. Getting closer to that deadline. Have to see what's going to happen. PCA still having a monster year. A lot of graphics being thrown about, a lot of posts. PCA, MVP. Shohei got shut down from pitching. We're about 1 week away from training camp. NFL season for me has officially begun. I know we talked a little bit way back when in the beginning of this season, probably about some of these draft choices. But over the course of the next couple of episodes, I'm gonna share some of my thoughts and opinions about this upcoming Bears season, who the draft choices are, who the free agent signings are, how they all fit within Ben Johnson's scheme. Are we finally seeing Ryan Poles working well with the good hire, Ben Johnson, and are they really like just hey there, Boris. Give me some more of that TE and left guard. We're gonna be putting together some very, very interesting experiments this season. I don't know. Are they a couple of mad scientists getting ready to build on year one with what they've done in the draft? It seemed kind of weird to me when it all played out. Like, what were they doing? The deals they were making during that draft period and who they picked up. But we're going to pair them with the free agent signings that they got. And hopefully between now and official kickoff, we, I should have done that. I should have been like, had the football ready. And for the official, kickoff. For the official kickoff of the season, we will get through the Bears training camp. There was some kind of weird shit going on with those dudes, wasn't there? They get their sausages, and the Bears are going to go 140. The score's going to be 149 to treat the Bears. All right. Very first pick, round 1, number 25, Dillon Thieneman. Safety out of Oregon. Very high football IQ guy. Kind of like super fast. I think he ran a 4.35 at the combine. Very good instincts for a football player. And, to me, a lot, that's key. Because you can take guys and you can see guys that have instincts. And a lot of times those instincts can make you forget about the weaknesses, because more times than not, the instincts allow something to kick into that dude's brain. And I don't, is it like a nose for the ball kind of thing? It's, instincts. It's like feeling the moment, what's going to happen, seeing what you see, all the knowledge you take in and the education you receive while playing this sport and diving into film and looking at tendencies. And then you've got those instincts, and that allows you to, like, you creep up a couple of steps here to your left because you're feeling something. And then when the snap comes and boom, you're just like right there. You're that one step away. You step in, get that interception, make that tackle, fumble, whatever. It's, it was one of the things that I was very glad that my high school coach, Les Callis, may he rest in peace, saw about me when I transferred from Catholic school to public school and I tried out for football. First thing was a couple of the veterans, they were going to be seniors. I was trying out my sophomore year, so I was going to be a junior. So we were going to play together one year, but the two veterans, the guys on the team that everybody knew, it's like, oh, that's Jason Williams, man. Oh shit. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Right. And, and then they come up to you in tryouts and like, yeah, I heard you're pretty good. We're going to have to see what you got come season time. Right. And then coach sits down and says, yeah, you made the team. And I go in there and I'm like an offensive lineman and I'm a defensive lineman, but they brought me in because they saw, I was probably going to start right away junior year. They had plans for me based on what I had. I could catch a ball. I could run. I had skills, but I had instincts. So I was an offensive lineman first and foremost junior year. So when we were running first team drills, I was in with the offense and trying to, win a job and showcase my skills. And then when they were putting in the second team offense and they were looking for other guys, I needed a place to play. So they put me on the defensive line to run against those other kids. So that was great and fine, but I had the ability to get up off the ball, shed a block, see the ball, and kind of make some plays. And my coach, defensive coordinator coach, saw something in me, made me a linebacker. It was my instincts. It was my nose for the ball. I could see things happening very, very fast. And Dillon Thieneman, I'm not saying he's me. No, this guy's way better. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to relate to y'all. And as an average Joe, I wasn't the fastest on the team. Defensive, I mean, I probably shouldn't have had any business being a middle linebacker, but my instincts and my IQ of the game and what I could see in the moment and boom, helped me. Dillon's got that way more than I do, and that's one of his strengths. That's a couple of his strengths, and that's why I'm saying I'm really kind of excited to see this guy play. Now, here's the thing. Brian Urlacher came out of college as a safety as well. This kid's got a slender build. That's kind of one of his weaknesses. He's not right there. What if this kid bulks up? What if he can turn into, Ben Johnson's doing some crazy shit with 12 and 13 man sets, and he's bringing in all these tight ends that are similar. And we're going to get to the whole tight end thing later, because I kind of see it a little bit more now. So, and it's brilliant. It goes almost to that whole mad scientist thing that I alluded to earlier in the show. But if he bulks up, maybe there's some kind of safety linebacker hybrid create a new linebacker. I mean, Mike, Sam, Louis. I mean, what? Yeah, Frank out there. Frank, he's the line safety linebacker. Put him, spring him up a little bit. Not really as a safety, but you could still have another safety on the field. But maybe you need to move out a linebacker, the middle linebacker, because you want to bring in a big, beefier, defensive lineman based on what's going on, and then you got this safety linebacker hybrid, kind of just using instincts and roaming the field. And next up, round 2, number 57, center Logan Jones. This is where I was kind of like a little confused at the beginning, but with the young tight ends you're bringing in, Darnell Wright's still pretty young out at guard. You're still working on Trapilo. You brought in Theo Bennett again. And there's some hope there. Braxton Jones looks like he's going to be competing for that number 1 spot again. Excuse me, at left tackle. But, you had lost Drew Dahlman, retired, and you signed Garrett Bradbury. And I get it. Bradbury's a little bit older of a guy, probably signed him short term. Maybe someone you figured could probably absolutely start on day 1 if you didn't get something else. So they got something else. Logan Jones out of Iowa, building a case for the future of the anchor as at center on the offensive line for the Chicago Bears. Now it'll be interesting to see, because I think they also signed as an undrafted free agent Olin Kreutz's son. I think his name's Josh Kreutz. I don't know. So we're going to have to see what how that all plays out at center. But I mean, I really like a focus here. Ryan Poles should know this. He's a former offensive lineman. So I really like a focus here on the offensive line. That's where it all starts. It was so funny because I saw a photo the other day, and it was, it was a photo of a center holding, it was basically the line of scrimmage, getting ready for a play. Football, you're looking down the line of scrimmage. You got the guys lined up, defense, offense, and it was talking about offensive linemen. It's like these guys are like the good friends, the good husbands, the great workers later in life, because they're guys that just go to work, Every play, first of all, the only other guy beside a quarterback to touch a football on every single play of the game is the center. And he anchors the offensive line, in which the offensive line are the only other. They see combative action every single play. Some running backs and wide receivers who might not be in the play, might be used as decoys, might not be expected to block. They just kind of run routes and go out and do that. So not every play are they getting pounded on. Not every play are they having to use their physical strength to get the job done. So they're guys who just go to work. And it was very interesting to me. I thought that was interesting. If I have that photo still, I'll share it with you up there. No promises, though. All right. So some of Logan Jones' strengths are, so Ben Johnson has that zone blocking scheme. Oh, we tore the goalposts down. Oh, shit, we win. Chicago Bears, 2026, 2027 Super Bowl. Woo! All right. He's very athletic. So that's very good. A center, I mean, you need a guy. He's got to get down there, snap the ball at the same time, come up with that first punch, get his feet in play, spin guys, move them. He's got to get out to the second level and pick up linebackers, right? That boom, that initial burst off the snap, and he's very good in zone concepts. He possesses below average length. His wingspan is only 31 inches. Well, last I checked as an offensive lineman, you can't go out here to grab guys to block. So I'm not certain this whole this has been a thing for a couple of years now. Like, the guy doesn't have the wingspan. And I'm thinking, well, you don't block out here. Everything when you block offensively is in here. So I don't know why you need the long arms. Does that help control leverage? I don't know. I'm probably a short-winged guy. I've never measured finger to finger, but he can't reach. Okay, so there's out here. So if you're going out here, you want to be able to get this hand. Okay, if the guy's a little 2 steps away from you, you want that longer arm to get up here, but you still wouldn't have that great leverage anyway. So, okay, you can't reach. And when you're stepping up that way, I get it. And you know what? If I had a good, proper studio, I'd shove this desk out of the way and I'd step up there and show you what I'm talking about with the reach. But I would probably pull a hamstring and then twist an ankle and, probably have to take a few days PTO at work or something. I don't think I want to go that route. So Logan Jones, center out of Iowa. We'll see how that plays out in the battle in training camp coming up here. And this is why I said we were going to talk about that tight end thing later in the show. Sam Roush, tight end out of Stanford, right? High proficient, pro ready, kind of like inline blocker. I mean, here's a guy, I think he's a lot like Colston Loveland. He's a lot like Cole Kmet. And they're these big, tall guys. They're athletic. They got some speed. They can block. They can catch. And this whole concept of Ben Johnson being the mad scientist, Boris, you're throwing 3 tight ends out there, and you're lining these guys up in positions where they're eligible, but you're bunching up formations to where they're tight into the line of scrimmage and they can block. We saw some of that play out last season for Ben Johnson and his offense. So he's just preparing for the future. Sam Roush, tight end out of Stanford. Doesn't quite have the elusiveness and the vertical speed, but maybe this is the guy, instead of signing a tight end a year every year, maybe this is the guy that complements Loveland and Kmet in the offensive scheme, because he's more so of the blocker, still has the hands and the catching ability, but you don't need him to get vertical down the field or really juke out a guy, right? Has to work on winning the contestable catch, when he's fighting in traffic. So there's a work in progress there with Sam Roush. But I love these 13 and 12 and 13 man player personnel type scenarios, what they call it. That's how they line up, formation wise, because it's kind of, I think it's designed in such a way where, you only got 11 on the field, but with what you're doing, it makes you feel like you got 12 or 13 personnel. It kind of alludes to like how many guys you use and where. Like in a 12 personnel, you're looking at 1 running back and 2 tight ends. And a 13, you're looking at 1 running back and 3 tight ends. And that's the beauty of it. Running backs like to run the ball. They want you to give them the fucking ball, and then they want to just kind of go. Some of them can catch, some of them can't. Some of them can block, some of them can't. It's rare when you find the running back who can run, catch, and block. That's a great running back to have. I mean, I'm seeing Kyle Monangai with that, DeAndre Swift to some extent, but he's not much of a blocker from what I've seen or witnessed. All right. But Ben Johnson's this mad scientist in the NFL, and he's creating some shit here. So, and he's building for that future. So I see that tight end, Sam Roush. All right. And then continuing on the offensive side of the ball, look, you got rid of DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore. He was a beast. He had a couple of game-winning catches. He got a bad rap. Looked like he gave up in some games. Hard to tell, but I also know he spent the night in the hospital and came back and practiced and played the very next week. And so he was tough SOB, and he's gone. Now, look, DJ Moore may have never been in your big plans. He was a guy whose salary Carolina wanted to dump. Ryan Poles, in one of his brilliant moves, was able to make a trade there to secure a first-round pick and DJ Moore and build for the future, which later became Caleb Williams. And there's still talk about everything that has transpired with certain guys, because there's people around the league that can keep track of all that stuff. They find they're still saying, here's the haul that the Bears got for the whole DJ Moore, that whole trade there. But you're looking at, he's gone now. There's question marks with Rome Odunze and that lower leg situation, that foot or whatever he's got going on. So you pick up LSU wide receiver Zavion Thomas. If Odunze's healthy, I really like Luther Burden III. Jade Walker is great. Third and fourth down, certain packages. But now you got Zavion Thomas, so you could legitimately have a 1-2-3, or you could like literally have a 1-1-1, to where these could be three guys who could be number one receivers on any team. So you got a 1-1-1 situation. You could just put guys anywhere, line them up anywhere. Defensively, it's a nightmare. They're all legit number ones. Who they going to? Who you going to cover? We're going to have to wait and see. I'm actually legitimately excited for the first time in a long time. I was pretty excited last year, but it's been a long time with the whole John Fox and Matt Nagy and fucking whoever the other guy was. I can't even, look, I forgot him so bad, and it's been only 1 year, but he was another Matt guy from the Colts. Jesus Christ, I can't believe, I can't think of his last name right now, but you know, that's something we might start talking about on the show. I told you on last week's episode, there's going to be kind of a transition. I'm focusing on the football, and I love the game. It's my number one sport, but football's kind of done some things, and I'm at an age and a point in my life where it's really pissing me off. So we're definitely going to be bringing back a segment called Shit That Pisses Me Off. When I started the show, it was Chronicles of a Dumbass. And I did sports, and then I thought maybe I'm just going to do the sports. Maybe people don't like my reading my writings that'll never amount to anything, or parts of a novel, or little short stories, or maybe they didn't like the stories about when I was growing up, when I was electrocuted. And you should go back and listen to that if you haven't. You could find it. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like my private Jerry Maguire a moment. But you know what? I got the platform. I'm holding this mic right here. I keep doing the work and uploading the show. I know shit pisses you off. And there's definitely a lot of shit that pisses me off. So we're going to bring that back. All right. We're going to be focusing on football. We will update you on the Cubs a little bit here and there as that season progresses towards the World Series. But I just focused on the Chicago Bears draft choices on the offensive side. We're looking at the last few draft choices. The other three that we will talk on next episode are all on the defensive side of the ball. So that's it. That's all I got. Season 3, episode 13 of the Shawn Mackey Show. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to get some more shit that pisses me off. We're going to have a little intro for that. You know, it might be something like, And now, another episode of Shit That Pisses Me Off. I don't know if you heard the echo. We'll find out in editing. But I'll see you when I see you. Peace.